Hey guys, still some learning going on here with our new platform. So sorry for the abrupt cut off there, but we're learning, right? We're doing what we need to do. So I'm just checking here, making sure everything's live, and at least you can see what I see, and that's good because we've got Mitch over there cheating on us. And oh, I can move that. I can do all kinds of fun stuff here. Yeah, so we're gonna go with it. We're gonna oh, we can do this. Oh, look at that. We'll figure it out, guys. Don't you worry. Do that. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm on fire. Okay, cool. So while we're waiting here, oh, we've actually got Steve. I think you just pop right into the room now. I think I don't think we get any. Oh, look at this! Look at all this fun stuff. Because I don't think I could hear you. I don't know if they could hear you, but I think we're good to go now. So how you doing, Steve? Excited to play with the
Hey,
new toys here? Is that?
oh yeah, this is fun watching you fly around the screen there. I gotta center my head. There we go. Okay,
We
cool.
gotta, and I could get rid of this. I don't know. There's all kinds of scenes set up, and they will work when the guy who knows how to operate this thing gets here from cheating on us in just a little bit. But we look good to go. So, did you like everyone else? Did you have a fun day yesterday with just the insane rip your face off rally, or what?
Yeah, it was fun. I was just thinking in the morning, hey, it looks like if we break pre-market highs, we're good to test that 20-day moving average again to the upside.
Hmm.
I was kind of expecting that maybe in a day or a couple days. It just speed ran it. So you gotta respect it when the market shows you strength like that. Again, I
Absolutely.
guess we're still in party mode.
Well, and I was thinking the same thing with the gap. I was like, okay, so we can fill this gap. Maybe I was thinking like sometime this week. Maybe we drift up, fill the gap, or something. I was thinking in one day we fill the gap, and then we gap up today, which is just nuts. So I think there's probably we got to wait, sadly, until next week with the commitment traders report. But I think there's probably a whole lot of people burnt real hard shorting into this market. I really do. What a time to be net short when this thing's just ripping. And even the India news kind of intraday, no one cared, right? It was like, oh, I'm going to tariff the crap out of India, and the market ticks down for a second, then just rips back to high and doesn't even. And we talk about it all the time. It's not about the news; it's about like how does the market react to that news. And in this case, and in a lot of cases, recently, we don't care. We're going higher. It does not matter what you could say, whatever you want. It does not matter in any way, shape, or form. We're just ripping higher. Let's just pop. We'll just use this one for now. Oh no, that's and then I gotta put that in back. Oh, look at us. We're figuring out. We're moving. We've got your screen. We can pop that in as well. I can do this. Oh man, and I
Oh,
can
look
do
at that.
I can do one of those and one of these and highlight different things. So anything you're looking at there, you want to show us or?
Yeah, it's nothing too fancy. I'll hide this for you guys. It's really simple. We have two zones of interest, we can call it. Two high liquidity nodes on the volume profile.
Yep.
We rejected the one up here, came back and retested this one. We confirmed support. We just came back up this morning and tested this again. We did find sellers here again, so I'm keeping it simple. We're in a range here. I'm going to be watching our intermediate moving averages here, but until we can get above this volume shelf that we just tagged this morning, 637, still range bound, but I'm sure not shorting it.
No, no, I think there's just so many people having such a bad time being short this market. And, I've been saying it the whole way up is that until that positioning data resolves, until we get some environment in which we go, okay, everybody is now long, then it will be interesting. Now, what's interesting is I was diving deep into it, and the positioning shows long Nasdaq, and it shows aggressively short the S&P 500, and it shows aggressively short the small caps. So, if we're looking for a total unwind of everything that's been happening, and we're going to bet against the guys who are generally always wrong, you would, be looking to buy Nasdaq. You may be looking to take a little bit off of your big cap tech. Maybe you say, okay, Nvidia, Apple, all these things are at least going to underperform over the next bit, and then we will get some outperformance in IWM. We'll get some outperformance in these small cap names. Again, I don't know. I don't. Nobody knows, but that's the opposite of what people are betting. People are betting that big cap tech continues and nothing else goes with it. And I don't see that as the current environment. Like, how much bigger can we get here on Nvidia and Apple and all of these names?
Absolutely. One more chart that I just find interesting in kind of this whole little puzzle here is the RSP chart. So are
Yeah.
we seeing a double top here? Are we going to see buyers continue to step back into the space and show that breadth can improve here, and it doesn't have to be kind of the Mag 7 carrying the whole weight here. So that's one that I'll be watching pretty closely. If we can start making new highs again pretty shortly, then I think that the market seems relatively healthy, all things considered.
Yeah, I when a dip happens and then really no news, like the news that made the dip happen was a bunch of tariff stuff. There wasn't any really new. It's not like in April where we were selling because of tariff stuff, and then he completely backed off on the tariff, and then we ripped. That, from news traders makes sense. You have the bad news goes away, you go back where you were. In this scenario, you just had nothing except let's buy it. And I think what's happening a lot is this kind of unwind in positioning. We're seeing it in things like Open and even like Affirm, and some of these names that aren't really like a firm's not really heavily shorted, but it's just part of that group of speculative, used to be high short float names, and they're all moving. Like Upstart, yeah, is another good one. Open, I really like the chart of. I actually got triggered in a little bit yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It's just we won't know. I think it's this Friday that we get new. It's every 2 weeks. I think it's this Friday we get new short float data, and my bet is that they're not going to be covering. So let me grab this real quick, because what got me interested in Open is if you go to, I love these charts by FinViz where it actually charts the short float data. So
Hmm.
here you can, if you go back to April, it was only 12% shorted, and it was at a buck. And then if you fast forward to July, it's now like 25% shorted at 50 cents. So we know that most of the shorts exist somewhere between a dollar and 50 cents. This area right here on the price. So it's not only that we know that they're short and that they're heavily shorted, but we know where they're short, and they're short in an area that they are in brutal pain right now. There's, if you're short between anywhere with a dollar and 50 cents, and we're at 250, you are at least 100% down. And, quite often you could be 500%
Yeah.
down. So if this holds on and digs in and starts to push up here, I could think maybe another leg. I would be, you know, if we get to all-time highs or these highs again, then I'm obviously very happy because it's $5. But I don't know if I'm going to bet on that. But some sort of revision back into the threes or the fours or something like that will make a good trade. And then if we lose two, right, it's time to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the chart looks good. It does look like one of those charts that, sure, there is the chance that it just straight squeezes and gets the five. But I mean, so many of these parabolic movers that flag out tightly, it feels like they need to kind of shake out. They need to kind of do that same kind of thing you're talking about, where they retest the intermediate area of that,
Yeah.
new little range that's been formed, that's been pushed out from the high to that recent swing low. So I'm thinking of like MicroStrategy or something where it couldn't just go straight up again quite yet. So it'll be interesting to see how the short interest plays out in this type of name.
Yeah.
I
MicroStrategy is another interesting one. This candle is just right straight down, straight back up. This one's funny for sure.
Yeah, it loves doing this too. It loves doing these 1 day shakeouts where it closes looking really ugly through a pretty key level like that point of control there at 388, and now it's right back. So I, I'm looking to get back into this name. I got stopped out up at 420 ish.
Yeah, what's
Keeping an
this?
eye on it.
Look how fancy this is too. That's really cool. Big banks dipped off Trump's statement this A. Oh man. Oh yes, he was on Squawk Box or something this morning. I remember now. So looks like whatever he said, he didn't tank us, which is good. Hopefully he's done talking now. But yeah, he was on. It's funny, he goes on Squawk Box the day after this epic rip and not the day after, the 2 or 3% sell off that we've had in the markets. But
Yeah,
I
that's
was
probably smart.
I was joking with everyone, right? Did you survive the bear market of August? This horrible down move that everyone was freaked out about, which was down like 3%, like three
Yeah,
percent from all time highs.
chaos,
Everyone was losing
pandemonium.
losing their mind. It's like how quickly people forget that we've had a bunch of bear markets in the last few years, and they're every down tick. If we're going to get scared, then what are you going to do when the next bear market comes? Because they're coming like once every 2 years now.
Oh yeah, be ready. I have a chart for you that I'm interested in your thoughts on.
Ooh, I like charts.
Ignore this chaos here. I'll hit it with the eraser as we go. But just in general, this is the KRE chart, and it's showing. I'm very interested in this area that it's retesting and potentially catching in.
Yeah, I am. I've been. I'm hesitant because I have been burnt
Yeah.
many times by small caps in the past, uh, like a bunch in small caps in the past. However, I'm starting to get interested in just small caps in general. So the reason I mention this now is like KRE is a big part of the small caps. That and biotechs are your two, huge small
Hmm.
cap sector, small cap look, and it. I like it, right? It's like I think it's good, but so range bound.
Yeah.
It's been such a problem to get us anywhere. But I really like the look of them. I think there's either a double or a triple leverage KRE ETF somewhere that I think has
Yeah.
decent liquidity.
Let's see. That would be DPST.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
So that's one way to play it. You could just pick your favorite ones. I get worried about those just because we had all those go bankrupt.
Oh yeah.
So I worry about individual names, but KRE as a sector could be very interesting. Where at some point they have to do something, right? That's
Mm.
even if you get a bounce back to prior highs, that's 69 on the KRE. So that's a 17% gain. So if you're trading a double or triple, you're going to get anywhere between 20 and 50% if you're right. And I'll take that all day long.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And you mentioned the other area I'm really looking at, and that's biotech. I mean, these rate sensitive areas, we're starting to get into the place where we're talking about rate cuts being on the table imminently and multiple rate cuts. And, it's just this is where my mind goes when I'm seeing these charts that have done nothing for a long amount of time, quite a while. So, what is the catalyst? Is there going to be a catalyst in my lifetime? These IWM trades, I think they've been underperforming SPY for like
Oh, at least 5 years, right?
I think a lot longer or something. The statistic was crazy. I'm blanking right now, but
Well, that's
if there
just
was a time
right.
for them to
This is
shine.
this is the moment, right? There's moments for ratio charts, which I love, and this is
Oh
it,
yeah.
right? So we go out here. So the last time, this is 2001, and then all the way until right 2000. I don't know. You might want to classify this, but like 2020 ish, and then ever since 2020, it has just been an absolute collapse. This is so that I should explain to the crowd. This is IWM versus SPY. So the line goes up. IWM is beating SPY. Line goes sideways. IWM is doing about the same as the SPY. Right? Line goes down. IWM is dramatically underperforming the SPY. Not only are we down there, but we're down there pretty significantly. I think we made new lows
Yeah.
almost. Yeah, tick new lows. So
So I
what?
think it's
What?
like the lowest it's been in the history of that chart that you showed, unless
Yeah,
I'm
this
mistaken.
this so this chart ends up being very interesting if we get that kind of revision, we get that flip, and then people start buying small caps. And it doesn't necessarily mean that for this chart to go up, it doesn't mean the SPY has to go down. It just
Right.
means IWM relative to the SPY needs to increase, because there used to be this thing. If you read all the textbooks that were published pre 2020, you were supposed to get um, a small cap premium, they called it, right? And the idea was that you are near 100% sure Apple isn't going bankrupt anytime soon, right? If they do, it's going to be a slow bleed, kind of like we're seeing with Intel or something like that. It's going to take a decade or so for these guys to go under. It's very possible that XYZ small bank or whatever goes to zero tomorrow. There's probably stocks in the IWM, because there's 2,000 of them, that are going bankrupt every week. You could probably pick up one that's completely going to zero. So for investing in that, you are supposed to get some sort of premium. Just hasn't happened in 5 years. So I see Mitch is in the background playing around. Just FYI for the crowd, I got to dip a couple minutes before the open, and I got to do a little bit of recording for the series that we're doing about the robot and how that's working. Gonna show you guys trading it live there on recording, and then I'll be popping right back in when that is done. So exciting. We are
Great.
loaded up and ready to go. Uh, so a little bit, yeah. Look at all these. These are all the potential trades that could happen today. Uh, yeah,
It's
on
exciting.
this side here, just nuts. But of that, we'll get anywhere between 5 and 10. Oh, look at that! Thank you. I did the best I could.
No worries, man.
Whoa, buddy, hold on. You're loud.
Oh,
Is that just me or is that
No,
everyone?
it's coming in
Oh,
hot there. I'm trying to figure it out.
whoa!
coming in hot.
I There, I lowered your voice a little bit. I just clicked on the three dots above your face. Uh, whoa! All right. I don't need my coffee anymore.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
Oh,
all.
I know what you guys are. Do you have your listen off stage feed still on?
Yeah.
That
We'll see.
that might be what it is. I don't think it's the
Okay.
chat hearing that as loud. If you have that on,
Whew.
you get like double audio.
Oh,
That woke me
So
up. That woke me up.
um, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Chat, you let us know if I'm too loud, but I don't think I was too loud. I think it was more. I did change my thing up a little bit, but I don't think it was that. But
You sound great now. Whatever it is,
yeah,
you're perfect now.
yeah, it's that listen off stage feed thing. And
Gotcha.
so this has like a green room, and if you don't turn off that little switch, you get double sounds. Remember when you came in yesterday and I was like, "Oh, I brought Michael on. Are you on the show or not?" That's it. Uh, sound low now.
Sound
Okay.
low. I'll
Yeah.
crank you back up. There you
There
go.
you go. I think it's in the middle, right? Oh no, it's all the way up. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, guys, you should be all set now, and we have the three screens there that we can kind of run through. So I think we should be good. Let's see if this works. Let me go to Michael Noss's. Why doesn't it want to take your screen share, man?
It hates me.
It doesn't like you, Michael.
I'm Canadian. I'm nice. It should like me. It should like me just fine.
There you go. You see? And then I just gotta share my screen, and then we got it going here, guys.
Oh, good. See, I'm glad
Bada
someone knows what's
bing,
going
bada
on.
boom. All right, there we go. And then we can go to my screen. All right, there we go. We got it going. So you can hop whenever you need to, Michael. If you want to get set up for that,
Yeah.
let me know. All right, guys, we'll keep it going. We got Steve. We'll be fine towards the open, guys. And nice little bounce back day yesterday. Some days, you get the move right back up. And now the question begins: was that just a gap fill? And are we going right back down? Something tells me it's going to be tough sledding today. But that's just the way that I feel coming into the market. We can talk a little bit about some plays. We can get to the sunrise. We can get to some earnings reports. What do you guys want to talk about, chat? I'm going to let you guys run the show today because I normally go through all of it here. But you know what? What do you guys want to talk about? So let me know out there, guys. What do you guys want to take a look at? Do you guys want to talk about some earnings reports? Do you guys want to just talk about trade setups? We can do that too. I got plenty, right? Just came from Trader TV talking trades, so I can go into a whole different realm of trades if we want to go into that side of things. All right. Saw you guys talking multiple trades out there. Did you guys see the coal yesterday? The black gold, baby.
Oh yeah.
it's
Black
impressive.
gold. Black
Yeah.
gold.
My F-Tech thing I was talking about ended up like 12% on the day. So
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's some names I'm watching in the sector. Do you see how pretty METC looks? That one's
Oh
really
yeah.
shaken up for me.
Well, you know who was trading METC yesterday? Your boy, of course, Money Mitch. Get it going, guys. That's what you call a. You know it.
Oh,
You know it.
poor
Cashed in on
throw.
that one, man. I cashed twice on that one yesterday.
Beautiful.
And then I said, you know what? METC just looks so good. I had on the day trade BTU. It didn't want to go. Didn't want to go. Didn't want to go. Finally, I got stopped out on the day trade. Then jumped. I said, you know what? I'm not afraid. I'll just grab this on the swing now. And then that thing really started to get going. I sold it a little early. I sold it at that 1650 that I talked about. Eventually got towards almost 17. So I think that's one name that we can keep an eye out to see if it keeps going. One of the things that I love about BTU is that it's another stock like I talk about with AU, guys. When it's not moving in a direction, yeah, it can stay consolidated or kind of just go nowhere. But when it moves, it has a tendency of actually getting the gas pedal in a direction. So whether it be up or to the downside, I think that gives us an ability to play here, right?
well, we talk about it all the time with commodities, right? Commodities are the nothing and then everything. And a lot of
Exactly.
people underestimate when something like a coal or a natural gas or a cocoa or whatever it is, they underestimate when it goes, what it's going to do. Like gold is another great example, right?
Yeah.
These things can go way further than people think. Like coca tripled or quadrupled last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's nothing
Yeah.
saying that any commodity can't do. Uranium's another good example. I think uranium put in a
Yeah.
new all-time high last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
right, this insane, people look at this and say, "Oh, well, it's uranium. It doesn't make you any money, or it does not. There's not a business behind it. It's like doesn't matter, right? These commodities, and I'll show you with coca. This is just nuts. Where this is why Hershey's got killed so bad,
Hmm.
but this is from the inception here. This is 2016 all the way to 2023. Absolutely nothing happened. This is why I say nothing and then everything. And then from the breakout on 2013, you're talking like a 300% gain in pretty much, this is a weekly chart, but pretty much a straight line. So it's the when coal happens, you're going to see something, I think, that happens like this, right?
Yeah.
So coal, right, has done
Mhm.
nothing for a long time. And then all of a sudden, we're breaking into this range. So if this continues, it'd be nothing for coal to get up to, that's a 30% gain right there. So if the underlying is doing a 30% gain, the companies that are going to make money if the underlying does well should dramatically outperform that. And then again, depending where you are on the cap scale, so an METC is going to be a little more risky, probably have a little more juice in it if you're right. A BTU is going to be less risky, have less juice if you're right, that kind of thing. But still, if coal rips 30%, it doesn't matter what you're in from a coal play. You're going to be having a good time.
Yeah, and I say you got to find like what I like to do. I like to find like leading indicators. AU is one of those for gold.
Yeah.
I can tell you. I brought it up here, and I think even Michael has seen it more and more now. I don't know if you used to follow AU before this one,
Oh,
Michael, but AU is just a telling sign, right? When you see this thing get going, watch for gold to follow because it's crazy how leading AU is a lot of the times, right? Like gold has not done this move, right? Not done a 20% move in the last couple of days. It's only like the best closest example is the GLD, right? And you're not really moving much, right? It's leading, right? It's a leading indicator. So I think METC is the Coles version of the leading indicator, right? So
Yeah.
it's going to lead. It doesn't mean that it has to follow, but it will take lead. And when you're trying to ride a new play, a new theme coming into play, new flavor, right? Well, those are the ones that you want to ride, maybe one of the fast ones, and maybe look at a swing trade on one of the slower ones,
yeah.
right? That kind of approach so that I can, kind of make money quick, because I'm on an idea that most are missing early. And then I want to also jump on the idea once the mass and herd is jumping on the idea. Once it starts showing up on CNBC, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once they start talking about coal, we'll know that other players are coming in and we could ride their momentum and sell into them essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we can look at plays like this. I'm looking at the chat comments out there. I saw Talk said that we're about the only ones talking about coal. Yeah, I really don't think you'll see many traders talk about coal. They just want to talk about AMD and things like that. I can't blame them. But the truth is, I just look at the charts sometimes and let the charts tell me, right, where the
Well, and
stocks are going, right?
right, and I think that's more important than people know is that if Nvidia was the thing and we thought Nvidia had a chance to double or triple from here, I guarantee we're going to be talking about Nvidia.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If it's just not right now, it's just not. It's
Yeah, and even when you're getting it right now, right, the only way to enter, I think, right now is short-term moving average pullbacks, which are like about 3 or 4%. So it's very hard to chase 3 or 4% trying to get like another 4 or 5 on the upside here,
yeah.
right? So that's why we don't bring it up too much on the day trade side of things because it's difficult right here. It's in the very choppy action. It's still higher, but the way that we're seeing it is pretty choppy.
Well,
I
it's
know
just
that.
potential, right? We're always looking for what is, I'm not interested in buying a stock and making like 2 to 3% on this,
Yeah.
right? It's just what is the potential of anything we're playing. So we're saying, we'll talk about commodities when we think the potential is 10, 20, 30%. And we'll talk about, XYZ small cap when we think 10, 20, 30%, right? It was, yeah, it was so we'll do what we end up needing to do. So I'm gonna duck backstage for just a little bit, guys, and I'll be
Yeah.
back
Go
a
ahead,
little
my
bit
friend.
after
We'll
the
see you in
open.
a little bit. All right, guys, we can keep going into some other areas and we can get into maybe some earning stocks and stuff like that. So we'll keep going, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's take a look at what else we can talk about. In the market, of course, we got HIM's earnings that came in right back down. Gap fill. Well, there he goes. It filled the gap. It got a little higher, even scared some of the bears, and then boom, knocked down, right? So it didn't set up the easy short there on HIMS. Believe it or not, I was trying to short this on Friday. Didn't get it on Friday. Yesterday would have been the day to get it through. That thing collapsing. HIMS right back down. Now the question is, does it a buy here? I know I'm not touching it here. I think if anything, it might kind of just balance out, chop around a little bit here, and then continue down. How do you feel about it, Steve?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's still range bound. I do think that the most recent catch off of the terrible news is more important than this recent sell. So I see us as range bound with potential to go up bigly if it can hold this kind of area of interest, this recent swing low. So I don't think there's any rush here for me to be buying the dip. I think that it probably will set up again, and I'll be waiting for that.
I'm gonna be looking. We'll see what happens there. I know that we got was it a coin offering or something? Or I was watching it a little bit. Coin came in and did something. I think it was an offering. Got
Mm.
hit hard down to 305 there.
Oh
So
yeah,
this is setting up for Hood to come down. And remember, I talked about how Coin could be coming right back down as we saw the kind of Mara and those names already back down. So I think this is a setup for Hood on the short today. I was already looking at it short from 106.40s. It's down to 106. So it's already there, set up there. And the big part is you did get bulls to jump right back into this thing and think they got it pegged. Let's
yeah,
see what happens today because I think that that candle could get you into trouble, especially if it gets up into this trend line and rejects it. That's
yeah.
what I'm looking for here. Forget jumping in right now. I want to see if this can go to that trend line, reject that, and then really stuff them, right? Because that's how they're probably going to do it. We'll see out the gates how this reacts. I think that coin thing might ruin it also because it looked like it was right on its way. You can see a couple of highs, 1, 2, 3, and then it went right here for this 107. Then coins came out with their news and then bam, right back down to the support. So big support to watch today. If it undercuts and rallies off of that, we'll see what happens. 930 is coming in right now. 105.40s is that look how it goes right to 105.40s. Did you see that?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys see that? Like in 1 second, it went right to that support. And what happened there? There was volume, volume, volume. It broke that volume, came down right below that, right? Then it kind of stopped at the 105 range. It collected more volume at 105, went below it. Now let's see if it can recover that 105.50s. If it recovers 105.50s, yeah, maybe it holds on here, goes to 107, then fades in the later part of the day. But this does look pretty weak right out the
Yeah.
gates there.
I think this is heavy right here. I think this is a good for a short back to 630 on
Yeah.
SPY. We have a loss of the pre-market lows here. Assuming this candle sticks, which it sure looks like it's going to, 10 seconds for it, bulls to step in. So yeah, I would be looking for basically a trip right back to the last swing low before we pushed into close. Just kind of a round trip in there from the overnight action, giving longer term bulls a chance to step in. So unless this pre-market low can reclaim in the next couple minutes, I would expect any pop up here to the moving averages to be a short opportunity. If it can power through that 632, then hey, I guess it can party a little bit, but looking
Yeah,
heavy to me,
I'm
looking like
watching it.
shorts.
It looked like some shorts got in there. It was a real quick candle there. We might get that attempt to the trend line, so I'm going to give it a chance here. We'll see what happens. I might take a trade on that, guys. Let's keep going. Let's make some money. Yesterday was all about the swings in BTU and METC, so we'll see how those kind of perform today. I think those could be on hourly long pullbacks. I'll be watching for a pullback on METC below 21 today for an inside day kind of candle. BTU, we'll see if it keeps going through 17. That's going to be my alert, 1690s, 1693s. We'll see what happens there. Hood just chopping around out here. We'll see if it starts to come right back down. It did make a little move up. Coin out the gates here, a little down. We'll see how the market's overall reacting here. Down out the gates here. And I talked about how the market could go down today. I think they're going to do it. They're going to do it early. And they're going to wash out some of the trades that were in green yesterday.
Yeah, I'm
So
short. I'm short on SPY here just for that trade that I mentioned.
I
So
can't
back
blame
to,
you on that. I can't blame
yeah.
you on that one, man. I'm actually looking at a like an SQQQ quick trade there to see what happens here, to see if we can get a quick trade in like kind of an SQQQ. I could also go with like an Nvidia out the gates here, an AMD. Look how AMD dropped out the gates. That should have been the trade. Now looking back, that should have been the trade, right? Thinking it's like a perfect setup to kind of wash those bulls out the gates here for AMD. Look at AMD kind of make a little move up there. I would like it to come back to 177 here and reject one more time. I don't know if it's going to make that move or give me that far of a bounce back.
Yeah, how I look at it here is I want to grab a little starter in case the bottom falls out. Then I'm not crushed if position sizing wise, if we do get a U-turn here. I don't like to see this price action as a bear, but this is the area where I'd like to see it reject on the back test. So like you were saying, it could definitely, you'd like to see that second push up. For me, this is the kind of second push up that I'd like to see wick down like this. So we'll
All
see.
right, that hood coming right back towards that VWAP there. I'm keeping an eye on it. It doesn't look too bad here. I'd like it to take one more attempt to 106.20s and then fail there. But let's see if it breaks the 105.60s also for downside break as the support between this 1 minute candle. You see the support and then the resistance. Like it to go one more time up here and then fail. We'll see what happens there. AMD bouncing a little bit there. Not far enough for me to jump in it right now. But just looking around out there, out the gates, what's doing well, what's not. Let's take a look in here for the day. What's leading my watch list up?
Builders, interesting.
Lemonade insurance. That's actually not a bad look into a market like today. RCAT up there. Bloom Energy getting a nice little lift. So Palantir, Bloom Energy, FLNC, one that I talked about yesterday. I was looking for this one to break 850s. Could get to 9 today. I got this one on the radar for me. That's above 860s though. Only if things go well in the market today. There's your hood. There's your move right back to 106.04, then starts to reject. Now I wouldn't mind shorting around 105.60s if I can get it. I'll take a shot there.
I have returned. I am back.
All right, guys. No more shorts. Michael's back.
Buy stuff. Well, it looks like we're getting a little ordinary pullback. I'll be interested. The 2-day VWAP is actually pretty high in yesterday's range at 629.50.
Oof.
So
Perfect.
if we can get there,
SPAC
that's
getting hit hard there, guys, out the
pretty
gates.
significant bet. But yeah, I'm just watching VWAP, which is 631.77. If we can get through VWAP, great. But until then,
ILQ
right?
looks like
I'm
it's
just
getting hit
going.
today.
We do have something today. Have we already talked about this? What it's ISM something?
ISM, yeah, it comes in at 10.
Yeah, yeah. ISM 10. It's a red
Yeah, no,
folder event, so
it's a mover.
there'll be something. There's
It's a
final
mover.
services PMI 15 minutes before that, which I don't know what that is, but it's yellow, so it's not that big
All
of a
right,
deal.
guys,
But
short here on hood, short hood. Gonna go off the 105 70. Yeah, let's do 70.
I like this look, this big wick up, this
Short on
triangle
hood.
up there, and just getting bopped down. So, Michael, you mentioned 629.50. That's the 2-day VWAP you said?
yep,
That's just what I'm looking for my hourly trigger there. So I think we're basically talking about the same thing. A look back to the area we kind of gapped up from, more or less.
my bought some LSCC. It's a semiconductor
Oh,
play.
Lattice.
Had earnings last night, so it's looking for a little bit of a move there.
Watching Ethereum to see if it's going to start getting going here or reject. So it has a lot of support here that could start going higher. Keeping an eye on that hood starting to get into the green, but really I need this to see it like kind of drop out fast.
Yeah,
Yes, I found some buyers there.
did VWAP's right above, so it's like we just got to dig in. We got to get through VWAP. But if Mitch is saying, because I don't know anything about these numbers, Mitch is saying that this number is kind of important, then that makes me really want to just kind of like hang out and just chill out and see if we can, when that number is done, what's going to happen here. And then earnings. I didn't even look. Do we anything we care about? I know it's more important today. No one reports earnings on Monday. AMD, SMCI, ANET, Rivian. Nothing massive, but something, right? It's not
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, it's about the manufacturing sector, right? We'll get a reading of above 50 suggests expansion, below 50 indicates contraction, right? Those types of things you want to be looking at when you get this report. Another important part is the latest report showed that manufacturing is contracting. So if we continue to see that, that shows that businesses aren't spending essentially, that business is slowing down.
SPY definitely broke through VWAP there. Let's see if we
Yeah.
hold. Next thing to watch is just the high of the day. So we dipped under VWAP, spent like 10 minutes or so there, ripped back through. Now it looks like we're challenging highs. Again, I'm not trusting anything before this number's out. Once this number's out, then I'll be more interested in potentially what could occur.
Right, might get stopped out in hood. It did bounce there, but it's still around the same area where I was looking at entrance. So I gave myself a little bit of change here, but I think I get hit there. There,
Yeah, I'm about to get
105.70s.
hit.
Took a hit there, $44. So really easy on the swing account. Yesterday made a really good amount, so I'm not going to stress that. Let's keep trading. Let's see what happens on hood later. Of course, it could still go for the trend line look and then still break the 105. I'll still have an alert later in the day to see if I see that 105 get taken out. AMD is coming back down, back to VWAP. So if you're looking at maybe a VWAP short on AMD, I'll be watching for that around the 177 level.
SPY through highs.
Oh.
So now we're looking at what is it? 633 is kind of that
TU
pre-market
taking off.
resistance. So with the SPY up here at highs, we just gotta see if we're gonna break. Yeah, that. So that's 633. It's pretty much, and we're at 632 and a half. So it's not a big move, but now then we got to start having the all-time high conversation, right? When are we getting back to potential all-time highs, which it's only what 639, so that's not crazy
No,
to
yeah,
think. And
not far.
that I will really be interested because so some short data came out last night. IWM is the short float I think is near all-time highs, if not 52-week highs. So
Wow.
they continue, right? The trend of everyone is to continue to be short. So if you're contrarian, you want to continue to be long. Now, IWM is a dog. We talked about this already earlier. It's been one of the biggest disappointments in the last 5 years, but I like it when they're short.
All right, guys. So ASPI is one that I'll give out there today, guys. Chemicals looking good on the kind of the industries and basic materials. Basic materials not looking bad right now. It's actually leading the market since the open. So I'd rather focus on that area. Gold also, what? Continuing higher. So AU was a leading indicator. Where does AU go? Up, baby. Let's go. Gold going higher, GLD looking good. That doesn't look good for the market in the long run, just saying. But
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like this push pull that's
chemicals,
going on.
ASPI is another one that I'll be keeping an eye on. That's the second leading industry. And then you got aluminum doing well today. So you can take a look at maybe Alcoa, Gatfill coming back into play with that. Even steel bouncing. That just tells you that basic materials are a big focus.
IWM leading the charge here. So that makes sense with, right? They're not going to be your big cap tech. They're going to be your, when you're talking about basic materials, when you're talking about, regional banks, which we talked about already, Steve, you're talking about biotechs, things like that.
Did you guys see Trump trashing JPM and Bank of America?
I heard a little bit about it. Looks like, how's JPM doing from that morning dip?
Oh, he trashed them on CNBC Live, but he also trashed CNBC on their own network.
Hey, do we care anymore? Like he talked about that India thing, and remember the market ticked down for like 2 seconds and just ripped back to highs. So, dude, does the market? Because again, for those who weren't trading the last time we had Trump, we've been through all this before. The crash, the trade wars, the fight with J Pow. It's funny. It's the same. It's the same guy. It's the same Fed chair he's fighting with. We've been through all of it before, and in the past, didn't matter. Right, we had this increased volatility at the beginning of his presidency, and then just a smooth ride till obviously COVID, and then from there. So I just wonder. There seems to be like a desensitization to him, where they're just like, you can't. How many times can you do the headline of Trump said some crazy stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, they're pushing it. I do got to say, in SPY, this is the area where I could see us just kind of giving this look back above the open, and then rejecting. I'm not
Short some AMD.
convinced either way, but I'm just watching this point of control kind of forming here at 632.
Reshort hood also.
I like it. I like it.
And short some AMD there at 177, really close to it, 176.94. Can add slightly above this. Not going to push it too, but remember it's still early in the day, but it doesn't look bad. Need to see the trend line rejection here come into play. Trend line could come into play towards like 177.40s, so you got to keep that in mind that it could go above that 177.40s, then come back down. So that's why I'm only in at 100 shares that I could handle $40 of risk, right? So we'll see what happens here in AMD.
Quantum looks strong. QBTS is up 5%. It's one to keep an eye on. So
yeah, Ion Q recovering. So you did get that to start to recover. Lemonade just killing it, guys. Killing it today. LMND. Really doing well, guys. 16% from the open. I'm not joking. It's doing really well. Bloom Energy doing really well. That tells me FLNC is a good look here. I'm actually going to try to day trade some of that FLNC.
Keeping an eye on USAR as well. This is a very coiled chart in the material space, in that precious or rare earth mineral space. So thematically appropriate.
There goes AMD. Let's go. Right back down. Let's go, AMD.
Let's see.
Let's go, AMD.
Nice. Yeah, right off that hourly trigger there at 177.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Now let's let it break. Let it break. If it comes back here, I'm going to stop out and then look to re-enter. But let's go. I'm going to try to let it break to 176 at least.
Hymns rebound, tax saying hymns.
I did take a little bit of that FLNC. Not going to risk too much, but just took like 300 shares on that. Looking for that to go higher. Out of hood again. Second cut out there, 44. So down 88 on that one. Might take one more chance, but hood just keeps like staying within the range. Going to wait for a real range break.
It's a tough
kind of
one.
playing with you.
It just hangs in there.
Yep.
Hims is ripping. Palantir is Hims is bouncing. Palantir new high after new high after new high.
Man.
All of a sudden, everything's looking good. But yeah, so people who fade that dip on Hims are having a real good day.
Out there on AMD for a small loss, $30. I can still get back in. I want to get back in. It's just I'm going to wait for the attempted trend line break here and then look for it to come right back down. I'm still feeling bearish on the day. I think that it's just almost too easy for this to set up there.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time being. It's tough for me because
It's just early still.
Yeah, it's just too early. I think
It's just too early, guys,
out.
and so that's another thing, right? Just keep on mind. It's
Well, we
still
got
early.
that big event in
That number
15
can come
minutes, right?
in
So
contracting, and then next thing you know, yeah, use it to take down the number. So
again, I'm the contrarian, right? So I'm seeing everybody short. I'm seeing short flows increase. So I'm always thinking the long side until that changes. But again, the bot's taking 3 trades, 2 shorts, 1 long. So that's what it's doing. I am just kind of sitting here, just waiting, because once this report's done, then we can talk about it. If we get through the pre-market high, again, that's 633, that could be interesting. But everything I'm looking at is just ripping, right? We've got 0.5% up on IWM. IWM is just unstoppable, which is a rare thing to come out of my mouth. But the Qs are doing okay, a little bit outperformance. Even the Dow is participating, and the Dow has been
here, let
lagging
me switch
because
over to you guys because no one's seeing that. There it is.
UNH, right? So yeah, the Dow's doing well. We've got IWM just ripping here. Everything's kind of green shoots, right? We gapped up, came in, tried, pretty much closed the gap here on the IWM. It's actually really hard to see because you got to zoom in. Almost closed the gap here on the IWM and then turned. So if that's all they can give us, the shorts, that's it, right? It's just a simple little pullback and then we rip. I don't know. It seems like all-time highs is might be on the table, if not
Yeah.
today, sometime this week, because there's probably a lot of people who shorted through this mess, and they're every tick that we move higher, it means that more people that shorted Thursday and Friday are getting run over, and they're having a bad time, and I'm all right with that. So
Yeah. So I'm very closely watching RGTI. I want to grab a starter here. I was hoping to get some off of the highs at 1604. It looks like it might just take off on me though. But this daily chart looks pretty ready to go to me. Nice flag break yesterday, continuation today. Room up to 17 to 1750 today, I'd say. So keep an eye on this one here. Want to see it follow QBTS's strength. Oh man, yeah. I want to just jump into this, but I'll wait for it to set up.
short
Ready to
element.
give me the entry.
So yeah, Hims continuing. All right, if we go positive on Hims, how many shorts are going to scream bloody murder? What's the current short float on Hims? It's pretty high. Last I checked, yeah, 35%. Man, if they get a bad earnings report and they still can't tank it,
Yeah,
there's this to
mean,
me on the
it's-
weekly chart. I think this is a great stock. Look at this on the weekly chart.
It
You've
went
got
down 17%. You're just
yeah.
getting a bounce back. I mean,
Well,
this
that's
is
so
the chart's going up and down inside the pattern. I think
well. So imagine you're short. You're one of the 1 in 3 people that are short this company. That's how short it is. It's crazy. It's like there's more people short than probably long. If you take out
we know what that is. Those are those big health companies with those CEOs that got pockets.
yeah, and you're so happy. You're like, oh, finally, we got a bad earnings report. It's going to go down. And it's big F. Still got a long way to go. If this thing closes green on the day, oh man, find your local perma bear, put a net under his window, like a little trampoline, so he would bounce. Again, I'm all for it, right? When you can see where they're positioned, because if you go to the Hims short float chart, you can see they've been shorting this entire time, so they exist somewhere in the 50s. The majority of these shorts, and if we're ripping through that, and they're just blowing up left and right, it's great. There's no better buyer than a buyer who is being forced to do it by their broker. They're not going to be picky about price. They're not using a VWAP algorithm. They have to hit the market buy button and get out and for me, I'm one of those. The same. I look at this lemonade. I think this is a pretty big short one too, which is
Yeah,
probably
it
what's
is.
happening here.
This was gonna go bankrupt until they weren't. It's one of those, you know.
Oh yeah, 30%. And oh, see, so this is why I love not just the number, but I think the chart is so important. Is because if you
Are you
zoom
short
in,
AMD here? I'm gonna try to
right,
take one more shot.
you can see where they went from 26% to 30%. So you know there's a whole bunch of shorts in this box right here, somewhere between 40 and 36. There's a whole bunch of shorts that exist in this area. There's way more shorts that are way back here, but there's a lot of shorts in here. So you know for sure these guys are just getting blown out of the water today. And that's, again, I just love to see it. That's exactly what happened. We talked about this earlier, but for those who missed it, that's what happened with Open. People got really greedy and they shorted like 25% of the company under a buck. And like, what are you
That's what
doing at that
happens.
point? That just seems like extreme greed to me.
I got a short here on SPY as well. It's looking weak back through the point of control here to me.
All right. 9 minutes till that number. Just FYI,
Yeah,
guys.
just a
Yep.
little
Yep.
scalper-rooney.
We'll have you watch the number at least here.
Oh, I
You
won't know
got
what the number is,
systems.
but we'll see it. Yeah, so far good. $150 or
I'll
so
let you know.
for
I'll let you know
today.
the preview here. I'll give you guys the preview before it comes in.
So this
There's
is yeah.
AMD starting to drop. Come on, AMD, just drop like it's hot.
Right, so LSCC, the bot just took it like right at the opening price to close a 2-minute candle right here. I'm looking to pair a little bit on that, and then I've got two shorts, ACN. This is if we go to the 1 day, right? Just looking for continuation breakdown. That one's working okay. TDUP, we're short this one as well. This one's working out amazingly. This is where most of the profits are coming from,
Wow.
because this was looking for an overextension long. So I am short from 1027, so somewhere in this area right here, and we're just falling. So I'm not going to touch that one. So far, right, I don't want to jinx myself, but we're 3 for 3 today, and I haven't done anything.
AMD, let's go. Come on, AMD, just pound down. Come on.
Yeah, the daily candle on SPY to me is shaping up for. I think it wants a proper back test of that 9-day EMA at 130.86 at the very least. I'd really like to see it dip back into the body of yesterday's candle, that
There you go, bud.
129 to 130, or sorry, 629 to 630 area. But
Yeah,
hey, maybe it just pushes up.
right. Yeah, I agree with you. Healthy would be a pullback to like the 2-day VWAP, would be 50% of yesterday's crazy move somewhere in there, and then find some bid and push higher. I just wonder, because we're seeing just the whole financial industry shorting the entire world. I just wonder if we'll never get it, because
Yeah.
it has to be a lot of sleepless nights. I'm waiting for the hedge fund blow up. There's got to be a couple coming
There
that,
has to be, man.
you
If
know.
they're really short and they're not just long some other names.
Yeah.
Well, even so, right? The way hedge funds work is, even if they are short some stuff and long some other stuff, they're underperforming dramatically. And if you underperform as a hedge fund, your clients come and say, "Give me my money back," and then you have to unwind those positions, and that's a forced unwind, right? If you have $1 billion of someone's money and they say, "Give me my money back," I'm going to this hedge fund. This dolt he wasn't short all time highs. You have to cover your short, which would cause a rip, and then any longs you have to sell. And that's another thing. We talk about rotation all the time. Hedge fund unwinds create forced rotation, because everything they're short, they have to buy. Everything they're long, they have to sell, and give the guy his money back, or whatever he can do. And it feels to me like we are somewhere near that now, that they've just been so wrong for so long.
Yeah.
You got to wait for probably like what, next quarter end, which would be September. That might be an interesting place. At least the end of the year, the window dressing and everything that's going to happen at the end of the year, I think is going to be nuts. Oh, and I forgot, I figured out a way, so I can just pop this in here. Oop, nope, didn't want to do that. Old habits die hard. There we go. So here is, I can actually bring up my little trade the pool account here. So I'm just remoting into a thing on Chrome. So these are the trades. So there's the green arrow right there, and took a little bit of profit off just because the risk was a little bit too big for me. It was like $200 on this one. And then, yeah, here's the short TUDP. And then here is the short on ACN. And that is all that's happened today. So now we're just waiting for more beeps and boops to occur. Probably after. I don't think we're going to get anything for the next 4 minutes when we have this number come out. And we'll see what happens then. That's going to kind of be the last thing that we really care about today. So that's the market moving where it wants to and in some way that makes sense. And we're just hanging out until then.
All right, guys. So we'll get ISM to come in here, guys. Prior, so we're gonna get that reading to come in at 10 a.m. The prior reading was 50.8. Expectation is for 51.5. So the expectation is for expansion. If we get below 50, that would mean contraction. And if we get contraction, you could expect probably maybe a downside reaction. But of course, you got to look at it. We never know which way the algos take it. Still short here, some AMD. I did cover some of it as it got like right by my break even. So just looking to see if it flushes here back towards 175.
Yeah,
I'm thinking we're getting a little bit of a spy flush here. This is looking good. I'm still on
Yeah,
my
a little
short
part
view.
of me wants to go for my last hood attempt here.
Nice. Follow through.
MSOS up another 3%.
Boom.
Isn't that like 5 cents though for MSOS?
I'll take it. I'm long my MSOX. My triple
MNMV
leverage.
looks strong today too.
Don't jinx it. Again, I have a divorce
Yeah,
amount
come on, man.
of
It's up
mine, man.
like 5 cents, dude.
Yeah, if
Big deal
I have
for
a
those.
divorce amount. Well, it's great, man. I'll take. It doesn't matter whether I've got what 30K in MSOX. I'll take 5 cents is still 3%. It's
Yeah.
right at the end of the day, the bank still takes it.
There it is. AMD with a little bounce back there. Got me right on the kisser. Let's see if it comes back down there. Down about 40 on that one. So just keeping myself within range to take a shot here. We'll see if we start to get something off that ISM number. Still got that FLNC long. It's just hanging out right on the average. And I got a stop place right underneath it. So it's more like just let it go and see if it flies. If it flies, I'll stay in it.
SHLD, your defense tech, new all-time high again. This is crazy for an ETF. Look
Yeah.
at this. Just, you like defense? Sure. And this is I think TAC brought us this ETF where it's defense but not like Boeing and things like that. It's defense like technology. And I don't know if I've seen an ETF that's ever looked this clean before.
Yeah. It's crazy. It shows the Ponzi-esque nature of military spending, right? I mean, you got to keep dumping money into that thing. It's literally
Yeah.
up and to the right.
Well, yeah, and as long as you believe that the administration is going to continue to spend more and more on defense, it'll be great. UFO doing amazingly. This ETF has been way better than its counterparts. So a lot of that space stuff, and I'm noticing a lot of XS software has actually been doing pretty well. So that might be an area to keep an eye on. And then home builders, like look at home builders compared to the SPY. Right, not all-time highs, but if we're kind of pegging, this would be the candle that made the all-time high in the SPY. Home builders dipped a little bit and then ripped, and we're right back up there. So very, very strong.
Yeah, I have some nail that I'm just hanging on to, not looking at for a while.
Nice. That's got to be doing great.
Yeah.
And you're not in a shitty economy when home builders are ripping, right? There's certain like things you can look at in the market. It's usually like industrials, financials, home builders. If they're building homes, they don't think at least a recession is 2 months away. You're building homes when things are going well.
I can tell you right now, there's a recession coming, man. I can. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are around building. I don't know if you guys are around building, but I can go down the street and it looks like 2008 all over again.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, but you got to put timestamp on that, Mitch. Anyone can say there's definitely. I agree. There's a recession coming.
But when?
6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Is it a rolling?
But
Is it
the home builders are really set up for disaster.
well, take a short. Take a big short. What nail? 3x short. There you go.
Yeah, no. My idea would be to you kind of have to watch the Zillow, man. I'll tell you right now, just open Zillow. I can show you. We can do this example if you want a little later today, but
That's a
the
nice little
houses are
chart.
staying
Bring us
on.
the numbers. Boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait till they get their earnings call. I think this thing's gonna go. Bah!
I just took a
Oh yeah.
partial
There's
cover
Oh,
on
there it
my
is.
short.
There's
yeah,
the 10
Just
o'clock
reload it.
news.
yeah.
We're getting that action now off of that.
Move here, see what's going on. So far,
All
so good.
right, time to take a shot on Hood one more time.
My next take profit is 630 on SPY. I think we get down there as long as we can close under low a day here.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It was that just a little dip and rip, little
Little
liquidity
blimp,
grab.
little blimp.
Could be.
Let's
That's why I
see.
took profit, but I think that this is well worth staying in here for me. Just putting a stop over that last, the 2 minutes prior there.
It's the best thing to do, right? You take a little off the table, you pay yourself. If it continues, great. If it's just a little liquidity grab, then fine, you made your money.
If you like housing stocks, that ASPI is a chemical that's used, and I think it's like either I forgot where it's major portion of home building. Nice setup
Isotopes.
there.
Yeah,
Are
well,
they
that's
um
great.
are they related to the uranium space at all? I don't know why I thought so. Maybe I'm
It
getting
says
them confused.
probably isotopes. They say health
It's
tech. Let's read them.
it's this like ASPI. It's like this here, let me I'll
Natural isotopes for high concentration products. This products includes medical, green energy, and industrial isotopes.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So a combination of things there, but chemicals are having a good day today.
Mm,
It's in
Dow.
fourth on the day, so
nice.
yeah, and
Here's
it's an
volatility.
area that was not doing well. There is Hood get hit a little bit there. I'm
Yeah.
waiting. I'm being patient, guys. I'm being patient. FLNC in the green here, so I'm giving it a chance. It's just a little bit of chop here too. Right at this moment, Spy head down fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
That's what
happened?
I'm saying.
We're
What
We're
happened
hanging
almost
there,
out.
dude?
we're almost to yesterday's support. This is another area that I'm interested in, right? Yesterday we spent most of our time bapping our head against 130 or 630.50, and
All
we're
right.
at 631 right now, so we're right above that. So this, just so you guys know, that's what this shaded box is. It's just this yesterday's, right? We hit our head like 5 or 6 times against this before running into the close. So this might be an area, and then below that we've got the 2-day VWAP. So on the
If you're
daily chart, barely filled the gap, right?
Yep.
if you're looking for a hot one, SMRs on the bounce back,
Oh yeah, yeah.
trying to fill the gap, right? I mean, it's a huge gap to fill, but you guys can maybe watch that one to fill the gap if it keeps going up today.
Okay, hello. Big relative strength just keeps on trucking. So that the sector's still hot. It's still going up. I like the ASPI as well, for sure. That's on my focus list.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a clean break on OKLO there for sure.
Isn't it? Yeah, this is
There's
probably the
more in that
cleanest
space
runner
too.
I'm in right now.
Yeah, there's a lot in that space that you guys can
There
look at
are.
too. There's some names that you might not be looking for that are continuing. We'll see what happens. Also waiting to see what happens with coal is continuing. It's not as hot as it was yesterday, but it's still pushing. METC doing pretty good there.
So we've held below this prior low for now. So that's in the bearish camp, but we haven't quite broken this. So that's in the bullish camp. So I'm
Yeah.
still in so you're still riding that short?
I'm riding the short. I'm looking for an undercut
Let's do
of 630 and a reclaim to get long for a failed breakdown setup. It's kind of where I'm at. I don't think
okay.
we have like a floodgates massive move down, but I'm not seeing anything telling me that we're bottoming yet.
Yeah.
Still looks heavy after the initial move. I'd like to see it kind of get down to the next actual level of interest for me at least.
And what's that for you?
630, 629.50 to 630.
Yeah, so that's yesterday's high.
Yeah.
Are you doing that based off volume, or are you just doing it based off that price?
So it's a combination of things. I have a little bit of a confluence of indicators showing support there between my triggers, just the volume shelf kind of there. The daily level is a big one, and it the round number. It'd be a very comfortable place to retest and then reclaim for a push up again. for me at least.
Which is good. I think this is healthy, right? We have to have this. Don't have to do anything, but we should have this nice, chill, orderly pullback, right? We're down
Short
0.07%
hood
on the
again.
day. And then we come and retest this zone. We hold a little bit, and then potentially start to move higher. I don't
Added
even
to
want.
FLNC.
Nice.
Don't
Yeah,
even
for me,
want
this
to.
is a textbook pullback, like you're saying. I mean, nice and gradual, nice and casual. Just going back to that hourly support that I like
Yep.
to see, the kind of midterm trend support.
Yep.
So, just saying, hey, all right, we've been running too hot. Let's come back to the mean of this upwards trend.
Yeah.
Let's confirm that, and as long as we do, then it's a viable dip.
Yeah,
So
nothing
that's
wrong
kind
with
of.
that mentality.
Yeah, you pull.
And
Yeah.
if we
So
lose that mean, then I start getting bearish. Then I put my bear suit on, start partying with Mitch.
no, it's
Hey, who said I'm partying?
We're not dancing. We're just acknowledging.
I haven't even looked at Bitcoin today. Yeah, it's not really moving.
Yeah,
Bitcoin's just it just
it's
annoys
resting.
everybody.
Ether.
Yeah,
Guys,
I
I
think
talked about
that's.
it. I talked about it. There's the cut
Pull
down
back
there.
today.
That looks ugly.
I'm about halfway through yesterday's range. I think we're kind of in the
I
middle
like this,
there.
guys. I've made 50 shares. I've made a lot of money on this thing before.
Solana's
Man,
holding.
bounce. This bounce. Of course, when you want it to bounce, it just doesn't. It's just
Yeah.
bidding. I'm like, come on, at least like 10 cents. Give me something.
Well,
Yeah, 10 cents. Yeah, I need about 30 on SPY before I close out and start looking for a long. One or two more candles, hopefully.
We'll see. We'll see what's going on, guys.
another.
That ETHU, but doesn't it looks good there. Daily rejected to get back up above 116, so it could be going for a further pullback. I think maybe 85
Here's
has
the.
come into play.
If you want to look at it, here's what the actual chart looks like of Ethereum. Right, make sure you're, because ETHU is just going to do exactly what this does. This is going to
Yeah.
be the leader.
Gives you more data to look back on overnight and whatnot.
Like going relative. Well, yeah, it's just 24-hour market versus a 6.5 or 6.5 hour market. And I see too many people doing that where they're trying to do like technical analysis on like IBIT. It's like this is just it's like looking at gold and not even focusing on the future contract that
Yeah, but if I
is
would have done
driving.
that, I wouldn't have got the AU. I think there's a little bit of conflict within that. There's nothing wrong with, because if you base your trade strictly on those indexes, let's say gold or wheat, right? Trust me, that doesn't
Oh
always
yeah, no,
work
no.
either, right? You get what I mean?
A company is different because this is a company
Yeah,
that
yeah,
moves, right? ETHU is not a company, right?
yeah.
ETHU is literally it's just going to do whatever Ethereum does, right? There's market makers that make sure it is going to be lockstep with whatever Ethereum moves, and this moves like a microsecond later.
Yeah.
Hood tried to grab me right now. It's gonna probably get me, guys.
Oh, they're grabbing your lick.
Hood. It got me, man.
Oh, that's
Such a resilient one.
It's right there.
almost bullish engulf here on the SPY, and look right where it happened. So far, right where we talked about not the prior high of yesterday, but
It's
this
FLNC.
resistance that we took place yesterday.
Mhm.
So
that-
far, we're digging in there. So
I'm still seeing the widening volatility. I don't know. I think we need one more push out, but we are seeing mixed tape, like you were saying. There's
yeah.
definitely are buyers on the tape here.
Also, 2-day VWAP moved up, so now it's not 629.50; it's 630.
Yeah, that works for me.
So right, it just moved 629.75, right? So roughly 630. Moved up just a little bit there, and then it's wild to see. We got the SPY down, and we have IWM up. Has this
That's
ever
wild.
happened in the last 5 years? So a little rotation going on, right? A little rotation. Small guys getting a little bit of love.
All right, guys, doing good on that at least FLNC trades. Also long that ASPI trade. I just said, you know what? I'm going heavy on these smaller names that are just getting these little runs. They're working. So why not stay with it? I just went heavy on FLNC. So that's actually riding up there of about $100 here. Could get back to break even on the day trade side, even with those losses in AMD on this one trade. So let's see if it gets back up there.
IMS is positive on the day. Look at this. This is
There you
nuts.
go.
So those shorts, man,
Look at the setup there. Wasn't that the undercut and rally?
Yeah.
just nuts.
Wow.
So, man, find your local, bear. Again, you got to remember this is over 1 in 3 shares are held short, and that includes the float owned by the company and the insiders. So when it comes to the free float, like the amount of shares you can trade, there are probably more people short HIMS than long HIMS. So if you
Yeah.
want to go, what is the trade here? Well, if you're a contrarian, you're long HIMS. If not, you're short. I'm just waiting for this is going to be like a long trade for me. If we
Yeah.
get a close over this kind of 56 area
Yeah.
on a week, or 66, sorry, on a week, I'm buying in. I'm putting a stop in the 50s, and
You're getting some short squeezes
wake me
around
up,
there.
right?
Maybe it's just a short squeeze type of day, guys. PCT is another one that could go above this 1350, starts to move in that short squeeze names here. I've had a list of short squeeze names for a while now in the bottom right here. Hims, of course, leading that action. Lemonade in that action. Then you got some other names starting to catch up. Even NVAX, Wolf, starting to break that 160. So the Wolf is out there, guys. PCT looks interesting off of that 1350s. SEDG, not a bad one that could recover 26 and start to go. Of course, you know how solar likes to make these big momentum moves, so I'd keep an eye on it. SPCE, one that I traded last time we had these kind of short squeezes, looking good there. And so you're seeing some, I think it's that short squeeze type of day. QMCO, not a bad target if you see Rigetti taking lead and really kind of pushing. This one's a forgotten quantum name. Yes, there's actually a forgotten quantum name. Look, it's all the way down at the bottom, and it's actually called Quantum Corp. So who knows? Maybe this one just starts getting going today. I wouldn't mind trading it either. So let's take a look here.
I saw that Quantum Biosciences was moving yesterday. Was that Quantum? I
Take a
remember.
little bit here and see if it just starts to get going.
I should have played USAR. That's up
Oh, what am
7%.
I doing here?
Mentioned that one this morning.
USAR, yeah.
Man, what a move.
Rare earths, man. I think they're the moves, man. I think UUUU is not on a bad move, on a bad rebound. I shorted this thing through the 10, looking for the 9. It went to 850. It's right back up there.
Yeah,
So this has to do with also China and all the situation that's going on there. I'll give you one more name. It's a speculative name also, UAMY.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Yep. So this one's been really hot, looking like it wants to break towards 4. Smaller names too, right? So this one's already made an undercut to 350. We'll see if it goes higher here and see if it starts to push.
SPY, on the other hand, not pushing up, that's for sure. So we are seeing that
This is
continued
where
heaviness.
there's the I think we're doing a little disservice with the SPY action and the way that the stocks are trading. There's certain ones that are going higher. There's some squeezes around there, but trust me, it doesn't look good all around the market there. Sector-wise, there's about 8 sectors in the red here from the open. Financials leading the downside action. So Bank of America right back down. I told you guys, Trump powed these banks. He pretty much called them democratic banks. And so all the Republicans might run and chase their money and go take their money out. So if they start to do deposit runs, yeah, these banks could go down really fast.
But this is not only what we want to see in bull markets, right? We're in a crazy bull market. You want to see this rotation. You want to see days where IWM is up and SPY is down. You want to see.
You might not want your president downing the 2 biggest banks.
Yeah, that's healthy rotation, right?
I don't own them. What do I care, right? I don't own them.
Yeah,
I don't bank with them. Let them.
I think the biggest banks in the world are probably going to be okay. Yeah, I think they'll find a way to make it work.
To a point, man. If Trump keeps doing this, and he actually he's making an executive order today based on this. It's coming out. Wall Street Journal had it already. CNBC jumped on the rumor and questioned him about it, and he pretty much confirmed it. So you guys will see it just a little bit later today.
Okay.
Conversation on that. And I think it's going to be a little bit talked about how this could be a bigger problem. That's why your KRE was doing good, Steve.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned smaller banks there.
That makes sense.
And then it's still even getting dragged now, right? So the key was everyone was waiting to see, would he mention a small bank name? Trust me, the algos, I could even feel how everyone was just like, come on, say a bank. Say a bank. Say a bank. Say one of these small illiquid names. Say a bank. Say a bank. And he didn't. He was like, He was like, all these little, I don't know. I put a
Yeah.
couple million there, a couple here, a couple there.
Tell me where. Where's the
And
money?
you could tell on CNBC, they're like, just say a name, just say a name, just say a
Drop
name.
it. I
Because
was
he,
about to
because
drop it.
he strictly named Bank of America and JPM.
Yeah.
Like he said that pretty much. He also said that the bank regulators were told by Democrats to destroy him. And so that's why the banks like Bank of America and JPM are out to get him.
Yes, of course. Yep. Yep. Okay.
Dude, honestly, I can't even make this stuff up anymore. Like, I couldn't even make up the stuff that we hear nowadays. But hey,
Yeah, I
how it
constantly have
is.
to check, is this a real headline? And
Is this real? Like,
yep, that's a real
like I
headline.
don't know
Especially in a
about you
world of
guys.
AI, you're like, man,
The Jerome Powell visit to the building. I thought that was so fake at first. I was like,
Yeah.
is this can't be real, dude. I got to see this on multiple sites.
yeah, I was like pixel peeping. I'm like, where's the guy with 6 fingers? Where's
It just looked too fake. It looked.
It's
That's
like
why I
it
said,
should get
Jerome, blink twice if you're being held hostage. They told you they're sending you to Guantanamo Bay if you don't show up on screen right now.
like it feels like it'd get thrown out of the writer's room for being too on the nose. Like, come on
It's
now.
crazy, man.
So we are getting real close to the 630 take profit for me. They're just teasing it, but it feels like it might just puke through it. So I might hold on for a momentum move through that.
Yeah, that ASPI pulled back a little bit here. That's the one I'm fighting, maybe let go. Up about 95 on FLNC. So it's kind of like a battle, right? How much pain do you want to take on a name, right? That's the
Right.
thing right now. The pain threshold is small.
And it is an interesting equation. Like when you have one position that's working and one that isn't.
Yeah, like
It's
this
well, I
right
believe in the
now.
one that isn't still.
115 up on one name, right? Down 30, down 16 on two others. If I just cut those, still essentially up, right?
Right.
And that's the tough part. But they're very similar plays, so they should kind of almost be working. But what happened here was I came in a little bit later in ASPI, right? If I'm near the VWAP, that's where my entry should be. I'm just a little bit chasing here, right?
Yeah.
And that's
So you might just
part
get
of the game.
dragged a little bit, but
So
still be right.
exactly. So you are expecting almost to get some type of red. Whenever you chase, you should almost expect to have a little bit of a pullback. This is why I think that scalping strategies sometimes just don't even make sense, right? You want to risk 5 cents with a lot of shares, but then you're buying the high day, which usually brings a pullback anyways.
Right. There's
Right.
usually a place to manage risk. Speaking of which, I just got my place to manage risk here. I just took
Oh,
took
that's
my
a
profit.
downside action there, guys. Downside action came in on hood really fast there. One more time. What the hell?
right to we're 10 cents from the 2-day VWAP on the SPY here.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
for me, like
well
this is a wait and see area where I could see us chopping for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I start to set the risk there on that ASPI. It will be $70. Have it right underneath it. This QMCO going to have it right underneath it too. $30. Ready to get out of those names. Look at FLNC. Needs to push here to 890s so that I can sell it and run.
Yeah, this is a very bifurcated market, right? Where we've got some things just absolutely ripping, right? Nuclear, MSOS, aerospace and defense, oil and gas, and then to the downside, we've got a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of biotech.
It is all over the place,
Right?
guys.
Oh,
Just,
Look at Ethereum, though. That's definitely breaking. That's a sign, man. I'm telling you, Bitcoin's a sign. Bitcoin couldn't get back today. The growth stocks might start getting attacked. ARKK down. Is it a time to short Kathy? I think it might be.
It might be. Yeah.
It might be. Kathy was starting to get a whole bunch of money to go in her fund. That's, of course, the time. Probably when it gets hit. And this, dude, she just screws herself every time. She just started buying a bunch of BMNR just because she's friends with Tom Lee.
Oh boy.
And that's a recipe of disaster. When you start to make good buys, Kathy, you go and do one of those moves.
Man, I was so greedy on ARC. I wanted the 80 handle to short and just never quite got there. It's too
Yeah,
bad.
this is a
It's
rejection there.
it's wild that, someone crowned as the biggest wealth destroyer of all time continues to get investment. So hey,
Look at
if you
twist.
if you think you're a bad
Oh,
trader and can't get funded, well, you look at Kathy. She got funded by billions and still getting funded. And the biggest wealth destroyer that's ever walked the face of the earth is her crown currently.
yeah, momentum down looks like it's happening right now, guys. So
Yeah,
I'm almost ready just to take my money in FLNC. I just don't want to show my stop. If I show my stop here, I'm telling you, if I put it
I'm for it.
like 1 cent, 2 cent down, I can almost guarantee I'll take like a click and it will grab me. But I'm just watching it. I'm like, I don't want it to tick down, but I also am ready just to take the money and run.
Yeah.
But this gives me the ability, right, to just let it keep going. But I got to focus on it and start to look at short opportunities here to see if we still start to really head down. Look at the VIX starting to really spike. I mean, remember I talk about, what do I tell you guys about the VIX? I've talked about this here countless times. And there's that little tick down. Yeah, I'm just going to take the money and run there. I'll take the money in FLNC. So the VIX, I always talk about how you got to look for 30 to 60 cent pops. This right here, a 67-cent pop. I watch this price action all the time, guys. It's usually a 60-cent pop that really gets the VIX going. From there, I look for quick pullbacks to come back in below the 9 EMA, right? So we just got that quick move off of like a 15, right? So now I'm looking for this to pull back into that range, and then we'll see if we really are going to really come down. It's usually not a straight leak. Let's see if it starts to really get going, though. That was the 43.67. You got a small pullback to 57. It's already at 43.80s. And when you see a dollar move on the VIX, that's when you really start to see it rock and roll. So we'll see it there, guys. Definitely starting to see that downside come in the market.
I'd really like, this is the level where I'd really like to see like a swift move down to scare people and then just reclaim and then just power up here. I'm not saying we get it. It could just be a muddy chop kind of day here. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is
Coming
the
to you,
level
my
of
friend.
interest, the 630 handle. So we got some time for shorter term moving averages to come down, flatten out while this kind of bops around here. I'd like to see the push down.
Yeah, I'd love to see Hood start really crashing here. How's Coin? Did Coin crash right back down? Yeah, there it is. Coin crashing right back down. Back to the 305s. That one could break through the 305s. Especially with Bitcoin going like it is. Look at Bitto. That's a hard move down there. Ethereum, even the 50 shares that I talked about around the 109.40s. I didn't want to chase. I was looking for some type of bounce. It would already be making $3, 150 in the green, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be big, especially for like that ETHU. The key there is I had to chase, and I was already on a chase spree. I was like, don't chase another one, Mitch. But that's just how it is, man. Especially when you're seeing that action go fast.
Zoomed in here, watching closely, right? This yellow line is a 2-day VWAP. So this is the average price of everyone who was buying yesterday, plus the people who are buying today. So those people are still up money and on average until this line breaks. So we kind of, inched our way to it. So let's see if it holds here or if we flush. So obviously not the exact price we're watching. I'd be watching, maybe 69.50. 629.50 to this zone, so we can get rid of this one because this isn't important anymore, and just kind of say like right here, are we going to dig in a little bit here, and if not, what do we look for next? Because you got to just always zoom out, right? It's a nice orderly pullback at this time. Look at this massive push up from yesterday, and now we're just slowly getting into the range. We're still in like the top 2/3 of the range. So knowing my boy Steve, I know what he's probably looking for is halfway into this candles range, which is still way below. It's probably what, 628.50 ish.
No,
That's what I was telling you. The Bears were going to come in today, guys. It was set up for them.
One more thing that I'm looking for is the 50% of the range from the all-time highs to the low of this little pullback here too. So
Okay.
that's an area of interest for me, and that is literally where we are at right now. So that's
Uh, yeah.
629.62.
So there's a couple things lining up there, right? 2-day VWAP, that move as well. That's interesting. I've also, I was watching Brian Shannon. He drew an AVWAP from this high. Right, that's a little bit below us right there. So yeah, there's a couple things in this zone. And again, right, you always got to zoom out and look at the daily chart. We are down 0.2% on the SPY, right? And after ripping like from this low to high yesterday, where we're up like 2%. So we've retraced 10% of this yesterday's candle. So I think we could continue to go and it'd still be perfectly normal, healthy. Right? It's
Yeah.
none of this is happening fast, right? These are just very slow stair step candles down. So, when is it going to end? I don't know. But so far, this doesn't feel like panic. And I love that it's such a bifurcated market, right? We got hams
Yeah.
absolutely ripping. We got IWM still holding on green. So your small caps are doing well. RSP is actually moving with the SPY, but not really as dramatically. So, big cap tech, those are the guys weighing us down. Everyone else is doing okay, except right, financials gotta smoke because the big guy did not like them. But like, look at healthcare, right? Healthcare is barely down on the day, has barely been selling
Yeah.
from the open. So there's pockets of strength, pockets of weakness. Stock pickers market. So get out there and find, right. Go look what's strong. Right? What
And I
on
would
your
say a
list is
stock
doing well.
pickers market in general is a bullish market.
Yep.
There are increasing opportunities every day. There are more and more setups breaking out, So I mean, this is beautiful, and pullbacks like this, volatility at all-time highs are nothing but opportunities. So I love it. And I'm still short here with 1/3 of the initial position. Just letting it cook. I've stopped at 630.60 now. Actually moving it down to 630.50.
The bot shorted some of this WKC as well, right? This is just a continuation short move here. So I'm net short, but I'm kind of really keeping my eye on the SPY. And if we start to get a bounce in this area that both me and Steve have been talking about, I may cover some of those shorts and leave some of the longs on to run.
Yeah, for me, my short position is already it's just going to do what it's going to do, but I'm looking
44.
to start a long position, So like that's where my head's at. Like I don't even need to worry about it,
Yeah,
if we go short, I'm getting paid. Now I'm looking for an opportunity to go long in the zone, but not seeing anything yet. So,
mine bet ripping today.
VIX still jumping, guys.
love it.
44 now on the VXX now. So still seeing some more buying coming in there. So things don't look good out there, at least for the day trade side of things. We'll see what happens if we get some recovery. AMD though, man, that one up, man. Oh, it's right back down to that 175 where I was trying to target, which is a $3 look there, guys. I kept risking like 30, 40 cents for $3. There it is. Look at that breakdown now. Good Lord, man. Sometimes you got the right trade. You just can't nail it there. Look at that.
Oh man, that's tough.
Oh, I even talked about this one on Traded TV. I was like, yeah, today's not the day to trade AMD, guys. You guys know I'm the proponent for AMD, but today's not the day. There it is, man. There's that cut down. And now it's too late, right? Now, if I jump into AMD has a tendency, when it does go, it really pushes. And there it is. It did that fake out, VWAP fake out fade, what I call the VWAP fake out fade, right back above VWAP, 3 attempts, fail it on the 4th, and then the breakdown comes in. You can see right here, clear as day. 3 attempts to get above. It hits this 4th, and then bam, right back down.
Rough.
Rough, man. And the worst part is I played it here through the 78, 77 here. Got stopped out at 77.40s. Played it here at 77. Got stopped out at 77 like 40s again. And then right here, I didn't play it this time on this one, and that's really where it came in. So just need to be kind of building the position a little bit more with a smaller amount, looking to build it there and not looking for the quick fade. Could have been the way to play it, but that's just to give like that chart analysis. But was it the right play? Yeah, just bad executed on my part.
So I'm keeping a very close eye on SPY here. We
Yeah.
are into the supply zone, or sorry, the demand zone for intraday price action, and it is trying to reclaim the 9-minute EMA for the first time of the day. There's confluence there between that 50% of the range that we were talking about at 29.62.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping an eye there. If it can reclaim and backtest, it may start setting up a long entry, but I'd still like to have more time for these shorter term triggers to develop. So
Yeah.
ideally, it gets bopped down again.
I
We
think you're
have
still seeing some of those smaller plays do well. So just really stock pickers environment right now.
Yep, we're getting a lot of right. The IWM just holding up the way it is amazing considering it's the IWM. Barely down on the day. Your SPY again, still only down 0.2%. We got to always keep context here that we ripped over 2% yesterday. We're down 0.2% today. And yeah, what you're seeing, Steve, is also that VWAP, that 2-day VWAP area that we're reclaiming as well. So
yeah.
if we are going to bounce, this seems like a pretty logical place to potentially do it. You know,
Watching this back test right here. I may take a little bit of a long just to hedge the short, and also just like it helps me to get like a little foothold in the rough area, I think, of a reversal. If I
Yeah.
already have a position on in the other direction that may rapidly go against me, if this is a reversal zone. So just makes me feel a little bit better. And I've already guaranteed that the short trade's a winner, so I can keep that one on and then put a stop on low a day here or something on the long.
Lemonade trying to catch a little bit of some support on the Bollinger Bands. If you guys are looking at that one, it's also the 50 EMA. That's LMND. That's Lemonade. I'm looking at the VIX on the small 1 minute pullback there. It looks pretty interesting here. I'd like to see a little bit further, so I didn't jump on that. But that was the 1 minute pullback that I talk about there. The 44 came into play. It went to 43.70s. Let's see if it just breaks 44 and just goes to 44.50s quickly. That's the washing of the bulls. Let's see what happens here.
The washing of the bulls, I like it. Yeah, so we didn't get a hold over that 9-minute EMA, so it's still same thing that you're seeing here. I think I'd
Yep.
like that one more push down at least. 627.50 is the daily 20 EMA. That's a level of interest that I'd like to see back tested. I think we're kind of caught in the pinching of those moving averages on the daily for now. So
All
not
right.
bullish until we can reclaim 630.
This is when I step up to the plate in certain names out there, guys. I'm going to go for a hood step up here in a second. I'll let you guys know when I do step up.
just got the three shorts and the two longs still. Nothing. Shorts are obviously working nicely for me. The long is
Circle short.
pulled
That's what
back,
I like.
I
and
like this
just
hood short,
riding.
by the way. I'm sorry
I
to
like
interrupt.
circle short.
Circle. Oh, that's weak. Yeah.
Yeah, the key to this one is that you're getting that like kind of no one wants to pay attention to it kind of
Yeah.
look. And then all of a sudden the daily can really start dropping fast on a Bitcoin drop. Bitcoin
It's
drops
been
are the
getting weak.
worst kind of things to
Yeah.
look at, right? I think at the end of the day, what could really kind of interrupt this move is all of a sudden we start to see Bitcoin really come down fast, right? This comes back down to the support, let's say back to 17s, and then you're not going to be so hot on those types of names. There's the hood going for the move here. I'm going to go for the ad and step up to the plate here. We'll see what happens there. Stepped up and added 50 shares. Now I'm at 106, 150.
Nice. So I'm liking what I'm seeing on SPY still. So we're starting to see a little bit of mixtape, but sellers are still in control by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep
It
on
just looks
grinding
to
down.
me like a grind down. How's Apple doing there? That's at least doing a little better. The value trade.
And,
Now they call it value because it's up.
The lifeboat.
well, then what's hymns? If that's
Yeah.
value.
Yeah, please to put out that tweet, Michael.
Is hymns value now because it's 17% off its lows? Just nuts.
Asking all the fundamentalists out there, is HIMS considered value now?
Or is it just positioning? Right? Does the
It's
whole market run off positioning? Is someone
I don't
been
know,
saying
man.
that for years?
it's so funny because I remember people making these same jokes about Palantir, like, oh, is it value at $20, at $30? Because it's, like When narratives change, names are rapidly repriced. I mean, in a year, this joke about Hims being value at 50 to 60, like maybe
Talking too
this
much
is.
hymns. You guys are making me want to short this thing. The bear is coming out in me.
Their
I'm
whole
waiting for a
business model
pullback.
relies on going
I
up.
might start adding some for a potential long-term investment because, well, long-term being
Long-term
weeks.
investment.
Yeah, I'm not kidding either.
If
Hims
if
is a
half
double.
if half the people out there are short, and my contrarian wants to not go with the herd and also short, I want to be buying, right? If everyone's short, get me in. If we get back above the 66 to like 69 and those shorts start to get liquidated,
Black
ooh.
gold, man. METC setup here, guys, right off the VWAP. I don't know if it can just keep going, keep just chugging along, but it definitely looks like it wants to.
Yeah,
Just
I
needs
think
some
it's a
buyers
long
to step
term.
up here.
I think it's a long term theme. So I think that it's going to be a steady and
It's
constructive move.
it's a nice setup here. I don't want a long right now, but you know
It's
how it
hard to
goes,
long
right?
anything right now, but it is starting to get appealing with
Look
SPY
at
just
this
grinding
setup,
on that.
guys. It's just as pretty as day. And sometimes I tell myself if I see a setup that's just pretty as day, don't overthink it, right?
Yeah,
Like that's just pretty as day on the 15, right? You give me a little bit of juice, it's reloading at the 9, you could get right back up to 23s and break it. That's 70 cents higher. You can risk maybe about 30 cents if you want to go all the way to 22s.
yeah.
Doesn't look bad, risk to reward.
This F tech's looking really clean.
You see it on the 1, it just looks good. F Tech.
Yeah, Michael was just pulling that up. That's a nice looking chart as well.
I
I like
mean,
both. Yeah.
the black gold, man.
Yeah, I was telling Mitch yesterday. I've got a buddy who's in Alberta where all of our oil and this kind of stuff comes from, and he's been following this forever. They clean like the junk that comes out of coal
Yeah.
plants and natural
Yep.
gas plants. So it's he's
AMR,
and
man.
I've been buying right all of these kind of consolidations as we broke out. I've bought each one. This one's got earnings tonight, which is kind of worrying me. But again, not a fundamental guy, but it's got no debt, zero debt, and about $1 worth of cash, which is why I think it's spent
Wow.
like the last couple of years just hanging out near a buck because that was trading at cash. And now it's moving. So I'm just say data center one time on the earnings call tonight,
Yeah.
just one time, and I'm out. But yeah, it's just a really clean looking chart for sure. Nice little breakout here. Not a
Yeah.
ton of
So
volume,
to
so be
add to
careful.
your stock there, the stock that does this also, AMR also. So
Yeah,
you're talking, this is an interesting, you ready? Clean coal. That's what they try
yeah.
to call themselves.
No, these guys are a little different. What they're doing is like the smokestacks. They're taking the carbon as it comes out, and then
Clean.
they do shrimp with it. I read an article where they're like carbonating water so shrimp grow more. It's weird stuff,
Dude,
but
we need more shrimp in this world, man.
less coal, gas, and more shrimp. I don't.
More
It looks
shrimp,
nice,
bro.
but yeah,
More
this is it.
shrimp.
Just if
Long
you're gonna
shrimp.
touch this F Tech, just be careful, right? It's a hundred.
And,
It's a
oh,
hundred million
good
dollar
lord.
market cap company, right? This is it's
AMD now
very careful.
174 almost, guys. I am missing this move on the downside, and this is frustrating. VIX now 44.16. This looks great here, guys. Even your hymns coming right back down. Lemonade
SPY
coming
is
right
shrinking.
back. Let's
Ooh.
see if that comes back.
Oh
If
man,
Palantir goes red, that's when you know all the Bears will start singing.
yeah. So this is those moments, right, where this pullback is nice and clean and
Coin. Let's
orderly.
go coin. Break down
Uh,
so I can make the hood money.
So
start start to
yeah.
make your lists, right? Start to
Hmm.
figure out, right? That's my plan anyways. Go through what's not like you brought up lemonade there. That's
Yeah.
heavily shorted and it's not pulling back at all with this market. So that goes on
Hard
a list,
cat
right?
here.
Hims holding up a little bit.
Palantir.
That's going on a list, right? Give me everything that's not participating.
Bull.
Yeah, bull. All right.
I
Just make
got
a
you.
list
This
of these
one
names.
definitely. This looks like China written all over. KLAC dropping fast.
Yep.
So big hit there. So you're talking your AMAT getting hit hard. Your Lamb Research, those stocks are getting hit hard. How's
Yeah, this
AVGO
tech.
looking? Yes. Also, all the leaders are getting hit here. NVIDIA, AVGO, AMD. That's what's leading the downside. They don't even care about the Microsoft. The overall market will care because it's just a part of the holdings, right? But they're looking at the momentum ones, and the momentum ones are saying down.
Axon, whatever Axon's doing, that's new all-time highs today. Was that earnings? Yeah, that was earnings. Big
Wolf.
guy. Big
Long
gap.
time and crime prevention.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
Yeah.
METC getting some volume there. Do we go for it here?
A similar name to Axon is EVLV. They're a small cap in the like body cam slash crowd control. I guess you could consider them.
Yeah.
Type of defense. So that's a
Yeah.
name that's setting up as well. EVLV on the daily.
Sim
Evolve
SYM
Technologies.
symbolic. SYM has hit new all-time highs today. Yeah, it's just such a split market.
Is
We got
Evolve finally making a move?
so much
It's a
ripping.
long-term base that it's going to try to break out of. I think it wants to
Steve,
test that 8.
I interview this company. They follow me on Twitter.
Oh,
I've been the biggest proponent. This is the only stock I've ever included with a POTUS tweet. Just to give you the insight on that mentality, right? This is a stock that the government should buy today.
yeah, it's cool stuff from what I remember. They do the like
It's
school.
just scanning tech, right?
Yeah,
Scanning tech without emptying your pockets.
yeah, that's neat.
So when you go to sporting events and things like that, you don't feel like you're getting literally searched in immigration. You feel like you're actually going to a sporting event and having a good time.
Right.
It can read anything metal, anything within, and show if there's danger. Then it'll just pull you to the side to get an actual check, right? It's not 100% foolproof in the case that, yeah, you're not going to know exactly, but it's going to give you the warning to have somebody check that person if they feel it's suspicious.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
all you need, man.
Well, and it's such great tech because I mean, it's like it gives you the
It's a good one.
illusion of
Good one.
a a benefit to your privacy, but in reality, it's it is security and it is helping lock down
Well, all
areas
right,
in
with
public. So I don't know. I
Axon,
think there's a lot of potential
right?
there.
Axon ripping new all-time highs.
Where
This
is that
chart,
JPM leverage short? They are running on the banks.
damn.
It's a bank run. Heard it here first.
You guarantee put on CNBC after 12 today.
Yeah.
Tell me you don't hear someone mention that, and then come back tomorrow. And if you don't hear it, I'll owe you a lunch. But I guarantee it, man.
I'm still waiting for my Tesla lunch, man.
Guarantee.
I feel like we just had a bank run. I'm getting old. Come on, give me at least a couple more years before the next one.
Yeah.
No, the problem is that what you don't want is that is going to ruin things. And look at the action on the XLF right now.
Right.
That
And
is not good.
JP Morgan doesn't make its money from individual deposits, right? JP Morgan's the prime broker for hedge funds, large institutions.
Let's go,
right?
guys.
Other countries, things like this, right?
We're looking good on this hood. Looking good on this hood, at least.
Yeah, baby. So
VIX
SPY
is
is
jumping.
at a level a cam like
VIX
the
is
cam
jumping.
R3 or R4, kind of like the pivot where it could catch if it wants to kind of keep a lid on things today. But
the Camarino, the Camarino pivot,
SMR full round circle, guys. So if you think the market's coming back, SMR may be an opportunity there because that was a huge run. We're talking 8% up, 8% back.
I'm just making that list of what was holding on strong. I like that bull that you brought up, which is really
I can
interesting.
run through that, right? That's what I can do for you guys here.
Yeah, because like bull's holding VWAP. So if the SPY holds on, this thing, and it's weird that bull's holding VWAP when we're getting a little bit of a pull up back in crypto, right?
Yeah.
You think this is going to be like a Robinhood. So you look at Robinhood, and then you look at which is at lows, just broke lows the day just a second ago. And then you look at Webull holding up strong like this. That to me is okay. So the SPY bottoms. I'm not going to buy the SPY, but maybe you take a little bit of Webull off this VWAP hold if it does, because that's some wild relative strength today.
Oh yeah, and it's a name that it's like if we're talking about areas where money can flow into the market, it's like Webull's a good company.
Yeah.
They got beat down off the IPO thing, so they're mechanically lower than they probably have any right being. There's, thematic strength in these hood type names that just keep on going up and to the right. And everybody wants to find a laggard. So a lot of reasons to
Guys,
long.
I am banking on Hood right now.
Ooh, cooking.
First trade entered here in a while on this Paramount. So
Paramount.
it's starting to, because again, I'm doing a lot of mean reverting, and because the market's inside yesterday's range, there hasn't been a lot of trades because there's not a lot of mean reverting. This is the first time we've got a little bit of a dip that's been enough to get Para interested, and so that's the first one in a while. So as we start to pull back, right, my system will naturally buy more. I'll probably start pairing out on the shorts just because they're down so much. All right, WKC hasn't moved. TUDP hasn't moved. So the fact that these shorts, this one's doing well. These shorts haven't really been participating. That's interesting. But yeah, this Para just entered a little bit of a buy here. Again, just mean reversion. So just looking at this daily chart, while the rest of the market was ripping, you could have thrown a dart at the board yesterday and had that rip. This one didn't. So the fact that this is pushing back again, just showing a little bit of too far down, right? And just looking, stop will probably be at the low of this candle right here, and just looking for a little bit of a bounce today on Para, so we can keep an eye on that there.
I wonder if that's the South Park sell for him ripping on, or them ripping on Trump.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you watch that episode? That
Oh
was a
yeah, I
good
was
one,
watching.
man.
Oh, I
It was
haven't yet. I
spicy.
gotta.
Nothing like drawing a relationship and correlation between Hassan Hussein or Bin
Yep.
Laden and
They just do it so well where no one gets mad at them because they make fun of everyone. Like they rib
oh
Canadians so hard, and we love it up here. I think one of them is Canadian, isn't it? One of the two, I think.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think one of them is. But yeah, definitely they rode Trump hard on that one.
I do think that there's the oh my
Money
god
taken.
panic is probably going to be overblown, because yeah, they rip on everyone, but I don't think Trump is going to be coming after South Park in particular.
Took that money, guys, in the swing trade. Had to take it. It was just too much money, too fast.
Beautiful.
see.
That's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad problem when you just get this type of bar. And then, especially because I'm trying to move up into getting one of these swing accounts funded, right? That's my next focus. I'm not even stressing too much. I'm still doing good in the day trade account one, but I'm really trying to focus and get this. I've been up here multiple times. So just let's take a little bit of a moment here, talk more about my account, right? And you guys can see here account balance. This is the kind of stuff that not many people would share with you guys, right? Look how this has been open for, right? Since June 2nd, right? And just been trading this thing back and forth. Has there been, maybe some drops? Yeah, there's been some drops, right? Been back up here, right? We've been up here before. Now we're right back up into this spot, into like the 99s, right? So been to like this 50% before. Now I need to start focusing on what? Shortening down the profit, right? So when I get the profits, making sure I take it. That was a clear example right there, right? I could have just started battling, trying to get $300, $500 on this name. No, I'm going to take the 250, and I took 232 because the market stopped there, but that's what I want to do. If I look here into my statistics also, and I tell you guys, definitely take a look more at your advanced statistics. I don't know why it's not reading right now. It normally reads pretty good here, the advanced statistics, but take a look further into this and look at your average profit and average loss. Use that, right? Use that advanced statistics that we're including right now to give you the average of profit that you're actually gaining and average loss, to maybe slightly adjust the way you're going about things. As I get closer and closer to that goal, I want to make sure that those average profit, if I get above that level, I'm securing that cash, right? Because that's going to really step me up closer to that eval. If you guys see the title today, of course, how to win in these. Well, this is a part of it. Look at my risk to reward, 1 to 4, 3, right? 21% success rate. Still finding a systematic approach, right? Through subjectiveness, but still focused on these two numbers, probably the biggest focus, right? Keeping the risk to reward in play and making sure that success rate can get you above that break even, right? Not only just above break even, leave your room in the risk to reward for actually getting into the green, right? Because that's what happens often. But there's the action in the market, still ugly, 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 ugly from the open. And this is where I said, was that just a gap fill and we're going to close it back down? If we close yesterday's low 621 today, well, guess what? You know, you might want to check on those bulls at the end of the day, because they might need a little bit of some check after a lot of buying came in here yesterday, right? So where does the market like to do? It just likes to hurt the most. I don't think it's going to 621 today. If anything, I think we're going to stop near kind of near like Friday's action, like 626 here. And then I could just see aftermarket, AMD has a good earnings report, and we're right back up here, right? So, and they're washing AMD, man, now 172. Why are they doing that? They're trying to get some more bulls out of this thing. Then the earnings report will come in. Why? Because the guys that are probably positioned in AMD, they're probably not positioned in this sideways consolidation up here at the top. They're probably positioned more in the recent consolidations, whether it be 160 or 150s or 130s even. And they're like, well, yeah, it can come back here now. That's fine. I'm not going to stress it. So that's the key about playing names that are too far gone. And when they break, it's very tough to stay in it, right? So a lot of the bulls are just getting washed out in AMD right now.
And speaking of bulls, man, look at this Weeble. Still holding VWAP, still can't push it down. Just relative strength is crazy in this name.
And this is a good look now on the 15-minute. It just recovered the 9, right?
Yeah.
You went from above the Bollinger Band back to the 9. I usually like those. Now what you want to see is the volume increase on like maybe like a 5-minute pattern, right? So you see how the volume just increased there? That shows you that buyers are willing to step up off of that VWAP. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. That one looks good. Your Lemonade, I talked about it, went back to 9 EMA. It just wants to hold in there. RCAT, another one that's kind of hanging in there, a little bit lower than the VWAP, right? So, but what you don't want to see is a full retracement, the 100% retracement, right?
Yeah.
It's still staying within the range, right? Like let's say SMR, that was more of 100% retracement and further, right? So up 8%, up 10%, down 10% or 11%, right? So let's see if this one can come back though, because if the market can just rip back, yeah, you want to look at these names. But if the market's just going to be on a leak here or sideways action, that's where you got to be a little bit careful because these names might just not come back.
Very true.
Where's the earnings for IonQ? Did that one come in already?
Let me check here. IonQ.
I know I saw it on the calendar. I need to recheck it.
Tonight?
Tonight.
No,
You see?
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. You see, that's going to be an important one for these quantum names.
Yeah.
Because it could really make the disaster. That's the actual real quantum name. I would say that right now. But I'm still mad at Niccolo De Masi, the CEO. We have a problem, Niccolo and I. But he stopped answering my messages, so that's why we have a problem, guys. Yeah, we have an issue.
Well, listen, so I don't do the discretionary trade very often, but I just buy a little bit of Weeble here.
You're going with bull? There you go.
Yeah, with a pretty wide stop, low day stop, right? I'm not scalping this thing, but I just think when and if the market just at least stops going down, doesn't have to bounce, but stops going down. I've just been hunting for the strongest names out there, and this is what's happening. And I'm going to start, I think, doing one a day. Give me one discretionary trade a day. Let the bot do 90% of the work. Keep myself engaged, which I think is important. I still do discretionary swing trades as well. And just idea generation, right? If you're doing one trade a day, that's kind of just a pure, hey, I've come up with a theory and an idea behind this. I'm going to hit a button and take a trade. That can sometimes be the thing that leads to systems down the road. Like, it might be hard to find relative strength, relative weakness intraday, but maybe possible to systematize this as well. So I'm in, 1,000 shares at 4. It's right here, right? So this is right. This one is the ACN short. I can go through. I put P&L numbers back on it so you guys can see.
Look at that.
I hate looking at them.
That's just for you guys. That's just put a sticky note on it on your screen.
I hate seeing. I hate seeing my P&L.
Keep a sticky note, Michael, and then just put a sticky note on it. So we'll see it, but you won't.
But yeah, so I'm in right in this area right here, and that's the trade. There's a stop loss. Like wake me up at the end of the day. If we start breaking through highs, and we get in this 15 area, I'll probably take half, right? Pay myself a bit, and then move on. But it's not meant to be a scalp. It's just to see that if you watch this thing, it just you look at the spy, you look at hood, right? Selling not dramatically, came down to the 2-day VWAP. But you look at the SPY, we've been selling here. You look at the Qs, and we look at bull, and bull's just kind of come in. It's dug into the VWAP every time it's hit there. It's bounced. So I'm giving it down here just to see if give it some wiggle room under the VWAP, and if the market digs in here and we start to push higher in any respects, I think you see Webull break out. Plus, I really like the daily chart. Right, big strong pushes, gradual, slow, chill pullbacks, and then more pushes, chill pullbacks, more pushes, so on
All
and so
right.
forth.
Seeing a question out there, anonymous name. That's the fun part. I was
Cool.
asking about the platform here. This is part of what I wanted to talk today also, and that's why I showed you guys the kind of the inside look into the swing trade account, right? And you guys see us using multiple screens and things like that, but you guys always see us putting our execution through the trader evolution. That's that one that you just saw on the screen there. And this is what it's about, man. And anonymous, you can take it yourself, right? And what I love is that we have the demo, and I can tell you guys the demo is very, very alike the evals. There's not much difference. And if you trade them, let me know if you do see a slight difference, because I don't see much difference at all. And I've had funded accounts also, haven't seen slight differences either. Right now, the pressure definitely comes in once you're more in that funded side. So that's where you see some people struggle once they do get funded. But yeah, attempting to pass an eval, I've passed the eval, I've had the funded guys. Yes, it works. Now it's up to you if you want to try it yourself, like
Yeah.
always, right? And I think what you can do is maybe you just go after the really small packages to start, because you just want to see if this is for you. That makes sense too. Don't get it twisted. We're not telling you quickly go for that 200,000. If that's what you want, go for it, big boy. But if that ain't what you want and you want to be smart about your money, like always, I recommend just first start smaller, then go bigger. The same way we do in trading, right? We start smaller and then we look for bigger profits. We don't just start going for Lambo money like I talk about first. That just doesn't happen, guys.
Oh
It
yeah, and
doesn't happen.
I'm an old man. I swing trade to feed my family, and
Yeah,
I'm still buying the 25K accounts, right? It's 120
exactly.
bucks for the flex ones. I find that's a nice perfect. And then what you do is you kind of climb the ladder. So say you pass one of those, you get a payout of a grand, right? Take a couple hundred of that and buy a bigger account, or wait and save up until you get enough that you can buy the bigger account. So I always think you should just start on a ladder, right?
Uh-huh.
You start with a small one, something that's well within your budget, that you're okay blowing up 5 or 6 times before you do well. You get one payout, it pays back all that and some, and then you take some of that money and you buy a bigger account, a bigger account. Eventually, you're in the $200,000 account, and loving life. But yeah, just take the time, take the time. And so far with Webull, we're getting look, guys,
There
a
you go.
discretionary trade. Look,
I'm
not no
I'm sitting long
robots.
here, by the way, guys. I'm out of the short. I see it pushing off of VWAP, or sorry, the new
Yeah,
control today.
yeah, I think what we're doing is we're doing this range back up. So just be careful for a choppy day. I think that's what we got to be careful for. The
Yeah,
move right back to like the VWAP and kind of staying within the chop, like kind of what we saw yesterday to the upside. The day did expand after like 12, but it really was just kind of like stair step higher from that, right?
yeah,
It
it just
was
chopped
an elevator move higher, right?
a little bit. Nothing. Yeah, there's no clear. Like, you got to trend at the beginning of the day, you got to trend at the end of the day, and then this
Exactly.
middle was just junk. So maybe we get a sell off the beginning of the day, and then we chop around the middle of the day, and then we're up or down.
So you can
In
take
the
some
close.
trades
So
back up, right? I don't blame you. And like how Steve's looking at it, right? And I see it too. I could see like, let's say like my FLNC, Bloom Energy doing well with that bull doing good, man. About to break 15 there. So you're looking great, my friend.
oh,
Hope he breaks that 15 there.
don't jinx me. So yeah, 300 on
Yeah, he
that
was like,
trade
why'd you
so
say my
far.
number?
Yeah, just don't. Yeah. So far, and again, this is the goal. This is a little bit, I think, bigger than I'll probably take these, but I'm going to try to give myself, and that'd be an interesting challenge, something to talk about on the show. Is I let the robot do what it's going to do. I take one, Give me one a day, and it's
Hey,
probably going to be relative strength, relative weakness, right? Show me the stuff when the market's ripping, it will be the opposite, right? Show me something that's not able to get above VWAP. It keeps struggling at that price. And when the market's selling, give me something like Webull that's not able to go down and keeps struggling at VWAP, and just do that. That's a lot of how I swing trade when I do discretionary stuff. It's just show me the stuff that's doing the best. And when the market sells off, if that stock doesn't sell
APLD
off with it,
ripping.
that's what I want, right?
APLD, guys, you guys know I love that stock here. It's doing really well again today. Recovered massively yesterday. I wouldn't mind this stock off the 14 here. I'm thinking the scalp opportunity if it can just pull back a little bit here, but it might just take off here. I might go with a smaller size to start it off here and try to see if I can come back a little bit on the day trade side. This thing could take off here. APLD long on that one, guys. I just said I'll pull the trigger right here. Look for an ad on the pullback. I also like FLNC to come right back up. If it starts to come back up, Bloom Energy is also a data storage name that I'm looking on the upside of the today. Another thing you can maybe do is just have your filters by like what's up in the last 15 minutes. So what are you seeing starting just to get the lift, like AUR, SoFi coming back. So those names that are coming back faster could be your targets. Remember I talked about SMR. We'll see if maybe that starts to come back here, right? You have that setup where it can maybe it gets to what I call a trend line approaches, where I'm just trying to trade it to this trend line, like maybe $47 or 47.20s back on SMR, not necessarily 48.40s, but back to the trend line. That might make sense on a day like today. So that's kind of like the last wrap up for me. Day trade account down 141, just took this APLD. I'm more than in the range the way I'm trying to play on the day trade account. Swing trade account doing really good. Back to the green, 83 and pushing. I'll probably try to take another trade later in the day. That's it for my wrap up. Anything that you guys want to wrap up before we head out?
I don't really trust the sell off, right? I think that we're just pulling back into yesterday's range, so that might not make it the easiest for you. So,
Yeah.
just like Mitch was saying, could just be entering chop zone, could be a pretty significant bounce. I'm not. I think if you're shorting right now, you're probably doing a little bit too late. So,
Mm-hmm.
as someone who's got a couple shorts on here, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so just don't go crazy. Remember, it's summertime. I guess is the summary there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Like always, guys, time to keep it up. We'll wrap it up, Steve, and we'll look to have more of Steve. Catch, of course, his webinars. If you're not catching them, you're missing out, team. Some great webinars. I even tuned in for the oscillator one. So definitely, guys, jump in there. And the best mustache on Wall Street. You can't miss it, guys. You can't. You can't. Do you brush that every day, guys?
Every day
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to do it. You got to
A
do
little
it.
oil, a little
Oh, I
oil.
got a leave-in conditioner. I've got
Oh, I
oil.
love it. I love it. I love
More
it, boys.
work on this than on that for sure.
That is a definite as you get
Yeah.
older. Take care, guys. We'll see you guys back right here, of course. See you next time. Of course, where? None other than Trade the Pool, guys.